Working in corporate America for 15 years, I've had my challenges as an introvert. I'm always looking for opportunities where I can jump in and add value, but still be authentic to myself. So I remember in 2013, I was on a diversity and inclusion council, and the team had been going back and forth for about 30 minutes. And then finally, I provided a possible solution, and it was like, that's it. And one of the sponsors reached out to me after and was like, hey, you bring a lot of value to this team, and most of the times you could help us resolve a situation if you spoke up sooner. You really got to have that confidence to jump in and look for opportunities where you can add value. And ever since that day, I really took that with me in my career, because I did, and I still do, struggle with those opportunities when it's the best time for me to jump in and add input in meetings, working on projects. As an introvert, sometimes I'm more reserved and prefer to work by myself. However, what I've learned is to not let that define me and also prevent me from building relationships and growing with the company. So, what I've learned over the last 15 years in corporate America and almost being in leadership for 10 years are some key tips that I think will be very beneficial for anyone that is struggling with being an introvert in the workplace. One, be authentic. So authenticity is really difficult because you're trying to figure out how you can bring who you are into the workplace without giving too much, but still allowing people to build relationships with you and get to see who you are. So stay true to who you are, but don't be afraid to bring some of you into the workplace, because I built some of the best relationships, especially with my direct reports. When they can see me and they can see some vulnerability, they trust me and they want to work that much harder for me. Also, don't be afraid to build relationships. So relationships are so important, but as an introvert, we prefer to work by ourselves, right? Well, look for individuals who may not be exactly the same as you. So don't look for another introvert. That would be my recommendation. But what I've done is I've looked for individuals who may have a more extroverted personality, or even those individuals that sometimes may be more vocal in meetings. Now, they bring value when they're more vocal, but they may be a little bit more vocal and their personality is different from me, and I take an opportunity to build a relationship with them. Also, by doing that, you can sometimes get feedback based on when there are opportunities for you to speak up. That is one thing that I found to be very helpful. So if I'm a part of a project team and I'm really not jumping in like I should, I have personally reached out to, I call it accountability partner, and say, hey, I'm really looking for opportunities to jump in more. I'm still a little reserved. If you feel like there's an opportunity, let me know. Or if you see that I'm not as engaged, let me know. And I've always appreciated that. So don't be afraid to solicit feedback, whether that's from your peers or your leadership or your direct reports. But it is so important when you're building relationships to find individuals that you can connect with, that you can work within the environment, but that also can provide you feedback. Another key point that I like to make is recharge. It is so important to recharge. So starting my day off, I like to start off with coffee. And being an introvert and working alone, I really can't do that. I've been a leader for almost 10 years, and I'm now a senior leader. So I not only have leaders reporting to me, but then now I also have their direct reports reporting to me as well. And a lot of times when I'm in the office, they just want to stop by and say hi. But as an introvert, I've realized that I do a really, really good job building relationships and being engaged. A lot of people find it hard to believe that I'm an introvert. And I think that's because sometimes the perception of what an introvert actually is. And what I like to do is start my day off with coffee. I do block off about 30 minutes to start my day just to get acclimated, adjusted, and check some emails and have some me time at the start of my day. Then I also take breaks. So whether that be stepping away from lunch, taking walks, or just disconnecting for 15 to 30 minutes, I think that is so important, because an introvert, you not only like to work by yourself, right? But we get drained. At the end of the day, I am drained from all the talking and engagement. And it is so important to break up your day to give yourself an opportunity to recharge. So these are some tips that have really helped me with being an introvert in corporate America. It has helped me be very successful. And it's not only that, but I've also helped many others be developed and coached into leaders. And it's one thing that I actually include in my coaching program. So if you enjoyed these tips, please drop down in the comments and let me know if there's anything that you can relate to. If you're an introvert, is there anything that you're intentional about? Or maybe some areas that you're looking for some assistance as an introvert.